Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to True American History. Here we dive into the truth behind history. As we go through this journey, remember, history is not always what you were taught. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Last week, we explored the foundations of the United States of America. But what if I told you? Those ideas weren't just written in documents. They were carved into stone, etched into marble, laid out across the very streets of the capital. Today, we walk through Washington, D.C., not just as a seat of government, but as a living symbol. A city designed to inspire, to teach, and to project the deepest ideals, and sometimes the deepest contradictions of the American experiment. High above the Capitol Rotunda, a vision unfolds. Painted in 1865, the Apotheosis of Washington reveals George Washington ascending into the heavens, flanked by liberty and victory, surrounded by war, science, agriculture, and commerce. This is not religion. This is civic mythology. Outside the dome she watches, the Statue of Freedom. Bronze, resolute, installed in 1863 during the Civil War. She wears no cap of the freed slave. Instead, a military helmet with eagle feathers, a sword in one hand, and a shield in the other. American liberty, she declares, is not inherited. It is defended. To walk the National Mall is to walk the Republic's sacred spine. At its center rises the Washington Monument, an Egyptian obelisk, stark and silent. No inscriptions, no figures, just a pillar of stone pointing upward. It is reverence without religion, power without proclamation. Further west, the Lincoln Memorial stands, solemn, temple-like, modeled after the Parthenon. Within, Lincoln sits, massive, watchful. Behind him, the Gettysburg Address. Above him, silence. But this temple is not only for memory, it is for moral renewal. In 1963, on these steps, Martin Luther King Jr. shared a dream, connecting liberty's promise to its unfinished work. Across the tidal basin, another temple rises, the Jefferson Memorial. Inspired by the Pantheon in Rome, it opens to the sky, a dome of thought, a rotunda of reason. Jefferson stands holding the Declaration, surrounded by the very words he wrote. But the light that floods this space does not hide the shadows. Liberty's author also owned slaves. But perhaps the most powerful message of all is not found in marble, but in the streets beneath your feet. Designed in 1791 by Pierre Charles L'Enfant, Washington, D.C. is a city of geometric intention. Grids overlaid with diagonals, stars, triangles, alignments. Some see an inverted pentagram, others the triangle of the Virgo constellation. The stars Spica, Arcturus, and Regulus mapped onto the Capitol, White House, and Monument. Coincidence or design? Astrologer David Ovason says D.C. was consecrated to Virgo, the sign of service, purity, and divine order. Survey lines, foundation dates, Masonic rites, all pointing to the stars. At the Supreme Court, the message is clear. Law is sacred. Carvings of Moses, Solon, and Confucius adorn the marble walls. The words above, equal justice under law. But not all monuments raise us upward. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial pulls us down, into silence, into grief. A black wall, 58,000 names, reflections of the living mingled with the lost. And near the tidal basin, one final figure emerges, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., arms folded, eyes forward, carved from the stone of hope, rising from the mountain of despair. His words echo through granite. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Positioned between Jefferson and Lincoln, King becomes the Republic's conscience. Washington, D.C. is not just a city. It is a mirror of a nation's soul, reflecting its hopes, its ideals, its failures, and its promises. In marble and memory, in sightlines and stars, the city speaks to us, reminding us that the Republic was never finished. It was always meant to be built by us. Thank you for joining us today in our journey for the truth in our history. This is our country, and it is important for each of us to know our country's true history. Please come back next week for our next exciting episode. Please share with all you know who enjoy the truth. Give us a like, especially if you learned something new. Leave us a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Thank you for your support. God bless you and our great country. This video is brought to you by Indigo-Enterprises Limited. See you next time.